What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another repaint video here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking on the second figure in the Fierce Force wave, and that is the, get ready for it, I'm going to try my hand at saying its name, the Masiakasaurus. I've got it in for me, man, these names. It's so hard to pronounce, but so I've never heard of this dinosaur before in my entire 37 years on this planet, so this one is completely new to me, but he is really cool looking and kind of like a wingless dragon. I don't know, he just kind of looks wild, but we're gonna see what we can do with him today. If you've seen my older video, the video I just recently posted a couple of weeks ago, I did the Velociraptor from this wave, and we kept it real super simple, not a complicated paint app, just sort of playing off the factory colors on this raptor. He turned out great, really like it, really dig it, and I've got two more from this first wave of these figures scheduled for repaint. So we've got the Gallimimus and the Sauropelta here, and these are like the four figures in this particular wave. I'm going to repaint them all. I've got some fun sort of retro repaint ideas in mind for these two figures, so stay tuned for that. But today we're going to focus on the Masiakasaurus, and we're going to give this guy a fun little repaint. So I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the package, and we're going to get started with this. Alright, so I've got several green paints here lined up that I've chosen, and what I want to do first is I'm going to do this repaint two different ways. I want to show you guys how to just enhance the way the figure looks without doing a ton of repainting. So I'm going to show you that you can repaint just the underside belly, and I've got some of this limeade green. It's a real nice bright, vibrant green color, and I think it'll look really good. It's not going to match the lower jaw color, but we can just paint that lower jaw, and that way everything will blend in. So I wanted to do this video two different styles, just kind of showing you the bare minimum, just kind of basic standard repaint that you can do, just sort of enhancing the factory plastic that this guy is molded in. So with this limeade green, it doesn't have great coverage, so you will have to do several coats on this thing. I think I did about 3 to 4 coats on this neck area and the underbelly side to really get a nice smooth even coverage, and that way it doesn't turn out chalky or anything like that, kind of really thinning the paint down and just applying really thin layers on this. And I'm being super careful trying to really get nice clean edges along the green paint, because I don't want it to, you know, get on the green plastic itself. I want to keep them separated, but just doing the lower jaw here, and then that's pretty much it for kind of the standard thing. You know, you could paint the claws like a gloss black, and that would be basically it for just a really simple repaint on this, just to kind of make it look a little bit better. But you know, here on the channel we like to take things to the next level, so that's what we're going to do in this part of the video. So I have the figure completely painted in this Citadel green color. You've seen me use it before in videos. If you don't want to drop $10 on an expensive bottle of Citadel paint, and you want to continue this repaint with me, you can grab some of this apple barrel green here. It's a very, very close match to the Citadel green, and the great thing about it is only $1, and that's a good deal for a paint, especially if you're just starting out. You don't need anything super expensive. Cut your teeth on the cheap stuff first, and then upgrade to the nicer paints as you advance in painting. So for my stripes on the back, I'm going to be using phthalo green from Createx. Just starting off, this is going to be my first base layer of these stripes, and I kind of wanted to lay this down first because it's a nice solid dark green, and it's going to help get some coverage over that light green. So when I lay down my final stripes, I get better coverage with that final paint that I'm going to use. And this stuff actually flows really well since it's an airbrush paint. I don't have to worry about thinning it or anything. I can just dip right into the pot and apply it with a nice fine tip brush on the figure. Design wise, I don't really have any reference material that I'm going by. I'm just sort of playing off the shape and attitude of this dinosaur. He kind of looks like he'd be a little wild, so I figured some crazy looking dark green stripes licking down the side of his body would be pretty fitting for him. So now I've got the dark basic pattern all over his body for now finished, and I'm going to go in real quick with some of that original Citadel green that I used to base coat him in. And I'm just going to clean up some of the edges where I got paint on where I didn't want it, and then I'm going to jump back over to the airbrush real quick with some of that Createx phthalo green in the airbrush, and just darken up the eye sockets around his head, his eyeball areas, just a hair. And then I'm going to jump over with some gloss black paint and hit all of his claws on the feet, hands, dew claws, you know, the business as usual when it comes to painting claws. I think black on green looks really great. And then I want to darken up the underside just a hair. The two greens were too close together for me, so I'm added some yellow ochre into my airbrush, and I'm just giving it a light glaze of yellow ochre underneath. And then I'm going to go back in with just a little bit of red in the airbrush and give his throat that red tint. So his eyeball is super tiny, so this is a hold your breath moment. I've decided to paint his eyeball yellow, so I'm going to go in first with some black. I'll paint the entire area black, and then I'll put in a little tiny yellow dot with a smaller black dot inside that one. You're not probably even going to be able to tell because his eyes are so small. And then I'm going to go back in and put my final coat of green all over the stripes that I put down. And this is a different mix of green. This is actually a green that I mixed up for a previous video that I did, is the retro repaint of the Pachycephalosaurus from the Lost World. I don't remember the mix, what it was, so if you've seen that video you could probably figure out what kind of green it is. But after that I'm going to go back in again with the Citadel green. We're using a lot of the same colors here, and I'm going to accent all those dots all along the ridge of his back, and then go in and finish painting some of these extra little details all around. I kind of keep coming up with ideas as I'm painting this thing, just sort of giving it like a wild green tiger stripe vibe. It just looks really awesome. And then I'm going to clean up the teeth and give this thing a coat of matte varnish to lock everything in, and then we'll do a little side-by-side comparison of the original and my repaint. And he's looking really awesome. And this is a really fun repaint to do. I kind of like doing wild colors, you know, on these little guys. And this one here was really perfect, and just sort of this paint app and this deco really fits him really well, I think, especially in this kind of jungle environment. So that is going to do it for me for this video. I appreciate you all sticking around and watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you found the information provided useful and it has helped inspire your next repaint. If it has, remember to tag me over on Instagram at the Jurassic Park compound, because I always love to see what you guys can come up with. For more Jurassic related content, you know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I'll see you around the compound.